All right, so a box and whisker plot or graph is designed to talk about where most of the information is. Now, we've done a histogram, which had ranges of numbers. We have done a dot plot, which is a number line. There are other kinds, like there's a circle graph, which always talks about things being out of 100%. There is a line graph that talks about trends over time, but this is a box and whisker, and all it's designed to do is to give you some specific information about a set of data. All right, so this is a picture of a box and whisker plot or graph. So yes, it kind of has, gets its name from the fact that it looks like it kind of has some whiskers coming out from a box. That's exactly where the name comes from. So there are a couple of things about it that we need to talk about, but I wanted you to first kind of see what one looks like. Now let's talk about some specifics of a box and whisker. So this is an example, and we're going to talk about some names. Now the part where this gets a little bit tricky is that each one of the points, you see where each of those arrows are, each one of those has two names that we might see it called. So we are going to talk about both of the names for each one. And that's where it gets a little bit of something to think about. So let's start by labeling it. You've got this on the inside of your notes, and I'm going to do it right here. So let's talk about the one on the far left-hand side. Here's the easy part. That is called the minimum. Or it has another name that's called the lower extreme. Lower extreme. Okay, and you may see it called either one of those things. That's why it's important to know both of those. Now, if that one's the minimum, what do you think this one's going to be?
Maximum.
Maximum. Uh-huh. Okay, so this one is called the maximum or upper extreme. Maximum or upper extreme. Okay, those are pretty easy. And we'll be using some things to help us remember. Now, let's talk about the numbers inside of here. Each one of these, how many parts is this divided into? 4 parts, right? You see 4 parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts. So each one of those is called a quartile. Quartile. So for the first one next to minimum, this is called the first quartile. First quartile. Anybody would know what the next one might be called?
Second.
You got it. Second quartile. And then the next one would be?
Third.
Yep. Now, the other 3 names are a little bit different. So, lower extreme, then we can also have the lower quartile. The one in the middle is the median. We've talked about that before. And median is going to be the key to understanding everything that we're going to do with a box and whisker graph. Okay, median. And then what do you think this one's called, the one that's left? Upper quartile. Very good. Okay, so now we have some names, and you are going to have to memorize those names. So make sure you've got all of them. There are a couple more things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what this represents inside of the box. So inside of the box, between there and there, or between the first quartile and the third quartile, or the lower quartile and the upper quartile, is what we call the IQR. IQR. And then I'm going to tell you what that stands for, and you're going to need to write it so you'll remember it. IQR is the abbreviation for interquartile range. Interquartile range, or IQR. Okay? And all of this really is just vocabulary. We haven't really talked about how to get any of this yet. We will in a minute. But I wanted you to get familiar with some of the words that you're going to be seeing. And this is a great thing. All of these are great things to memorize. Now, the purpose of this is for people to figure out where most of the data falls. So up above it, I have this little thing for you. And this is one of the most important parts about it. Each one of these quartiles represents 1/4 of the information, or 1/4 of the scores, or the data, or whatever it is that's been collected. So 25% of the data is right here on that whisker. This will make more sense when we start talking about it. Then 25% of it falls between the median and the lower quartile, so right here. That's another 25%. Then another 25% falls between the median and the upper quartile. Oops, 25%. And the final 25% is the whisker. Okay, so I want you to just think for 1 second. 50% of the data is contained inside the box. Kyle, you're on it today. 50% of the scores, whatever it was, is going to be contained in here. Then another 25% is here, and another 25% is there. And like I said, when we get examples, it's going to make more sense. Right now, just remember these things that I'm telling you, and then when we get into doing some, it's going to make a whole lot more sense. Okay, so we've talked a lot of vocabulary. All right, so we're going to figure all of these out together for a couple of examples, and then you'll be able to figure out your own. And we're actually going to draw our own box and whisker plot. So let's start with this. The first step anytime we're looking at data is to put them in order. So let's do that. You do that on your paper, and I'll do up here.
Are we going to do example part 1 or?
Did we skip one? We'll come back to that. I might have put it in the wrong order. I wonder why I have that out of order. I'll look at that. And I will tell you, it's really helpful to not do what I just did, which is to run out of room. Because once you start going to the next line, it is much harder to read. So I'm going to rewrite mine real quick. Still going to run out of room, aren't I? 8.
Yep.
8. There we go. I fit it. Okay, and remember, the next most important thing is to count. Make sure you have copied all of the numbers. So we originally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good, I have 12. Okay, let's fill in the two easiest ones. The lower extreme is what?
The minimum.
But what number is it? 3. Let's talk about the upper extreme. What's that? 8. Okay. Those are very easy. Now, the rest of it is all about medians. We're going to find the middle of the data, then we're going to find the middle of the lower numbers and the middle of the upper numbers. That's all it is. It's all about medians. So our first step is to find the number that's in the middle. Now, there are 12 numbers here. Is there a number straight in the middle?
No.
No, it's going to fall between the 6th and the 7th numbers. Okay, so let's find that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be between these two numbers. Y'all agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay, you can add them and divide by 2, or we can just remember what is halfway between 5 and 6?
5.5.
5.5. And I just did something I shouldn't have done. Let me go back and uncircle that. If you circled it, uncircle it. I'll tell you why in just a second. It's going to be important. Okay, so our median fell between those two. It was 5.5. Now, the lower quartile is the middle of the lower set of numbers. So all we have to do is the same thing. Figure out what the middle is. So how many numbers are in the lower part? 6, right? 6. So there's not going to be one right in the middle. So our median of those is going to be between 3 and 5. So that is 4. And that's our lower quartile. How about our upper quartile? What is it, Declan?
7.
How did you get that? The 2 in the middle? Uh-huh. Yeah, so in the middle of the upper numbers, we have 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. Adding those two, dividing by 2, or just knowing halfway between 7 and 7 is obviously
7. Wow.
7. Okay. Now, the next step is real quickly, we're going to list the inner quartile range. The inner quartile range is the difference, remember, between the lower quartile and the upper quartile. So what is it? 3. And remember, the reason why this number is so important is because this tells us where 50% of the information fell. Half of all answers fell between 4 and 7. That was pretty close together. Okay, because it's only 3. All right, now, let's make our graph down here. We're going to graph everything except for this one. This one is not going to be a part of our graph yet. You'll see why in just a second. So let's start by just putting small dots on each one of these places. So a small dot on the lower extreme, which is 3. By the way, when you graph these, you are only graphing those 5 numbers. It's called the 5-number summary. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, so lower extreme is 3. The lower quartile is 4. Put a little dot there. The median is?
5.5.
Put that right in the middle. Somewhere there. Upper.
7.
And then?
8.
Okay. Now we have 5 dots on there standing for these 5 numbers. Now, here's all you have to do to make the actual graph itself. First of all, find the one in the middle and draw a line. That's the middle of the box. The 2 outside edges of the box are the 2 next numbers. There and there. And just draw a box. Do you see how it's all above the graph? Not on it. A few people want to draw it on the graph, but it's all above. What do you think we need to do now? Just draw the whiskers. Out here and out there. And we now have
A kitty cat.
a box and whisker graph. All right, so this is example number 1. We just worked backwards. The only difference really between example 2 and example 1 is that in example 1, there's one straight in the middle, and in example 2, there wasn't. But you're ready for that because you already were expecting it. So let's list our numbers. 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, All right, did you count them and make sure you had 11 numbers?
Yes.
Good. All right, so let's start. Lower extreme is?
0.
Upper extreme is? 5. Let's find the median. Raise your hand when you found the median, the one in the middle. Okay, everybody should be looking for that. All right, Danny, what'd you find? 2. 2 is the number in the middle. Now, do you remember that I told you on the other one not to circle those 2 in the middle? Because they were not the median. But this time we're going to circle the 2 in the middle because it is the actual median. And what that means is, the reason we're circling it is because once we circle it, we're going to ignore it to find our lower quartile and our upper quartile. So once it's circled, we ignore it. Okay, so our median is 2. Now, we're going to find the middle of the lower numbers. What's that?
1.
Middle of the upper numbers is? 3. Inner quartile range is? 3 minus 1, right?
Yes.
All right, see if you can draw the graph without my help. Remember, this part you're not graphing, just these first 5 numbers. So, the lower extreme is the?
Lowest number.
Come on.
Lowest number.
And the upper is the largest.
Number.
Doesn't matter, highest and largest, same. Median is the middle. Middleest number, right? It's the middleest number. Okay, so the lower or first quartile is the median of the lower half. Median of the lower half of the numbers. The upper or the third quartile is the median of the upper half of the numbers. And our inner quartile range is the difference between the first and third quartiles. Or, if you're looking at a graph, it's just what's inside the box. Okay, so, shh, quiet please. All right, so remember, these things can help you, and those should be inside of your notes. And remember, this is called the 5-point summary. So when I ask you for the 5-point summary, this is what I'm talking about.